Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to turn a NotebookLM notebook into a 30-second video ad in vids.google.com. However, the process will be executable outside of the Google ecosystem. Assuming that you know how to set up a NotebookLM notebook, you want to make sure that there is at least one notebook with your business philosophy in one specific area. We will use the notebook you see on your screen as an example. We will start the process in Gemini, and we will go to Gemini, and then we will add in our NotebookLM notebook that defines our marketing philosophy for the area in which we're going to be doing the video. We are then going to add that specific notebook. We then need to do some prompt engineering. You are looking at a master prompt, and you are going to want to alter this prompt for your specific elements. For example, one of the things that you will notice is that inside of this prompt is a preference. You'll see that this prompt indicates that the video should not include any faces or people in the prompts. You can take that out or you can alter it. So any part of the visual style that you want to alter with the help of Gemini, or if you have an idea of what you want to do, you can make changes to the visual style. However, Rule 1 should stay the same, Rule 3 should stay the same, Rule 4 should stay the same, and Rule 5 should stay the same unless you have a compelling reason to change it. When you paste in the prompt, you're going to put in your own business information here in this area. We're going to select all and then copy the prompt and head to our Gemini chat. We're going to paste in our prompt, and we're going to make changes. First, we're going to designate that what we're doing is we're using a NotebookLM notebook. So we've made changes to what we're attaching, and we gave specific context. We're now going to add in our business information. So we've added in our notebook. We now have our prompt. We are now going to open up the canvas in order to execute our prompt. Once we do that, we can then make sure that we're going to be using the Pro version. And if you have Pro queries, you definitely want to use the Pro version. We are now going to click Submit. We're going to allow Gemini to analyze our NotebookLM notebook. And what we want Gemini to do is to use the canvas in order to put together our script. And our script is now starting to populate inside of the canvas. Once the process is complete, you will then execute the prompts inside of vids.google.com. We're going to copy the prompt for scene 1. We'll then come to vids.google.com. We will then start a new video. We will then start with VO 3.1. We will then add in our prompt here in this area. And we will then generate the first scene. And vids.google.com will begin to generate our first scene. And our scene is now ready. We can now drag that scene into the timeline. And you can view the first scene. What we need to do now is we need to screenshot the last frame. And so that is what we're going to do. We're going to screenshot the last frame of this video. And we're going to save that image to our hard drive. What we will now do is we will copy the next scene from our script. And what we will do is we will eliminate the first prompt. We will add in our screenshot as an ingredient. Once we have our ingredient, we will paste the second prompt. We will then generate the second scene. Now, by adding in the screenshot from the first video, we are getting continuity between the two scenes. So we will repeat the process for each scene in our canvas. We're going to add in the last scene as the ingredient, and we're then going to add in the prompt from our canvas. And for each scene, we will repeat the process and generate a new video clip. Now that we have completed building out the scenes with the visuals, what we need to do is we need to create the audio, and we need to create the audio based on the information in our NotebookLM notebook. What we now need to do is we need to write the prompt for Lyria to create the music for this video. We're going to ask for Canvas to help us to write the prompt for that music. We did have to reattach our NotebookLM notebook. We are already working inside of the canvas where the AI can see the scenes that have been built. And once we submit this prompt, the Gemini canvas gives us a prompt to cut and paste. So we're going to copy this prompt. We're going to close the canvas. And what we're going to do is we're going to now change the tool to create music. We're now going to enter our prompt. We're going to eliminate the directional text. We'll now have the entirety of our prompt as given to us here in this area. We are now going to click submit. And Gemini is now going to create the music based on our NotebookLM notebook and the prompt that we have put together. You can listen to a sample of your prompt. You'll notice that the prompt is going to be 30 seconds. We can now listen to a few seconds of the actual audio.
Lost in the digital for you.
As you can hear, the audio actually included lyrics. We're going to go back and we're going to iterate with Gemini to make sure that this track is going to be instrumental. So we are going to go back with an iteration and we're going to request that Gemini create an instrumental track. We can now listen to the new track. So we now have an instrumental track. We can now download the track. We will download the track as an audio track. We will now upload the file to our Google Drive. And our track is now uploaded. We are now going to go to the upload section of vids.google.com. We're going to select our track that we just uploaded. And what we're going to do is we're going to now place that track on the timeline. And by clicking on it, it is now on the timeline. What we now need to do is we need to shorten the clips, each one to 5 seconds. So we're going to use the handlebars and we're going to drag each clip to 5 seconds. We now have our video clips so that it matches the length of the audio. We're going to go back into the canvas and we're now going to write the 30-second voiceover script. Inside of Canvas, Gemini will then write our 30-second script. What we're going to do is we're going to paste in the script into each part of the scene. What we will do is go into vids.google. We will click on voiceover, and what you're going to notice is that each of the scenes has its own voiceover narrative. What we can do is we can paste in the narrative for this screen. Now, once we do this, we do have a choice of how we want to have the scene narrated. We can either record the narration ourselves or we can have the narration done. Now, for the sake of this video, we're not going to narrate the scene ourselves. We're going to use the AI voice. So we're going to preview the voice.
Drowning in digital noise and broken funnels? Stop chasing shiny objects.
And we're going to go ahead and insert that voiceover into the first part of the scene. We're then going to go to the second scene. And for each scene, what we're going to do is we're going to insert the script from our Gemini canvas based on our NotebookLM notebook into vids.google. And so we've now finished the 5 scenes. We're going to input the last scene.
Thomas Duncan One Consultants. Build your content factory today.
We will now insert the voiceover. So we now have voiceover script as well as music for all of the elements. What we now want to do is we want to go into the sound element and we want to look at the sound element for all of the tracks. And we want to make sure that the sound from each of the video clips is going to be muted. So we're going to now mute the video in all 6 of the video clips. And the video portion is now muted. So what came across from VO is now muted. What will be audible is the music as well as the voiceover. We are going to want to watch and listen to the video so that we can determine if we have to make adjustments. So we can now preview our video for the sake of the audio.
Drowning in digital noise and broken funnels? Stop chasing shiny objects. It's time for a straight line to profit. Build your content factory. Turn your core ideas into a weekly workshop and command attention. Watch your product snowball grow with predictable, automated revenue. Master the rulebook and position yourself as the ultimate authority. Thomas Duncan One Consultant. Build your content factory today.
Now the end of the audio is a bit loud. So basically what we need to do is we need to go to scene 1. That's the only place where the music track is going to appear where you can make adjustments. We're going to reduce the audio so that now it won't be so loud in scenes 6 and 7. So now we should be able to hear a little better. We're going to pull the timeline here. We're going to listen to the transition between scenes and make sure the sound is what we want.
Master the rulebook and position yourself as the ultimate authority. Thomas Duncan One Consultants. Build your content factory today.
So we now have our audio in the way that we want. And so our video ad is now complete. It's important to note that you can do much more customization and you can create a video that is obviously more visually appealing than the one on your screen. However, this video is based on our NotebookLM notebook. And each scene uses phrases from the data in our NotebookLM notebook and discusses things from our perspective. What we can do is we can go to the share button and we can download our video as an MP4. We can also export the file direct to our Google Drive. And we can also download the file as a GIF. And our GIF is now downloaded. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.